Well, the face with me, I probably shouldn't introduce him, but Sean Connery. Maybe there's somebody there who hasn't seen you in a movie. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I've met people who never got the films.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean you have met people who didn't know who you were?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It must be kind of refreshing, isn't it?
Well, I had a funny instance when I was down in Ireland, and we took over the whole railway station. This was a great train robbery, and we're all dressed up in the period costume. And I went into the toilet, you know, and it was right beside where the trains come in from Cork. One of these guys came in from the country, and he walked into the toilet, and I was standing with a green top hat and the whole costume. And he stood looking at me, and then he didn't recognize me from me. He was really out of the sticks. And he turned round to tell the man next to him, or ask him who it was, and it was Donald Sutherland, who was dressed in the same kind of costume, and he didn't recognize either of us and ran out the toilet.
Being, though, a celebrity and a well-recognized person, do you think it's changed your life for the better, other than being successful at what you do, but the loss of privacy? I wonder if that's...
Oh, loss of privacy, that's a great problem. It depends on the sort of person you are. I have a terrific, deep need for privacy, but equally so, I have to appreciate that I'm in a public situation.
Yeah.
So I have pretty simple ground rules, which is if I go into the place of the public, then I'm in their place, and therefore they are perfectly entitled to be as they wish. But in a private place, no. And then if they conduct themselves how I would like to be conducted to,
sure,
or I would conduct to them, then it's perfectly all right. I don't mind.
Do most of them identify you as James Bond? Is that the standard
yeah,
recognition
in the
thing?
main, yes.
Does that bother you as an actor that that one role is so identified with you?
No, because I did, I think 7 of them, you know, and you multiply that, and there's no other film that won. And, you know, they had a phenomenal run, and so it's silly to get uptight about that.
You could have done more, I presume.
Yeah, oh yes.
Why did you decide to get out?
Well, in the main, I'd done so many that I found they were becoming more and more heavily involved in the post-production of them, the pre-production. They were building up to a 6-month period to make the picture. And so I decided that I couldn't plan my own programs or make decisions for work that I would want to do. And I didn't find them gratifying. Financially, they were okay. Nothing like what one should have received anyway.
Really?
So
I would assume they were just made you a millionaire each time you did.
Not at all, not
really?
at all. No, that was one of the reasons also that I terminated and left them. And I came back and did one more, which was Diamonds. And then I got something like what I should have received as a fee. And but in the interim, I've been it was much more fruitful. Still make plenty of diverse subjects.
How did you get the first James Bond role? Were there a lot of people up for that, or was it?
Yeah, there was quite a lot of different actors, and they weren't quite sure which way to go. And Ian Fleming had a say in who it was going to be, and I hadn't done very much. I'd worked in the theatre mainly up till then, 5, 6 years in the theatre. I'd only done a couple of films, and I went to see them. Eventually, they said, "Oh, well, they want me to do a test," which I wouldn't do. And I'm never quite sure why. But,
why wouldn't you do a test, Sean? I would think you'd want the job, you'd do whatever they wanted you to do.
No, because I just felt, well, no, I saw humorous aspects of what it was about. And you couldn't play in a encapsulated test, really, of what one was on about. And they messed one about quite a bit at the beginning too, and I was doing a play at Oxford or something at the time, so I wasn't too serious with them.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And it makes a different.
I thought you weren't taken seriously enough.
Quite enough, yeah.
Which is right. Well, cheers for you. I think that's.
Well, I'm sure in business that's what happens so many times too. One's talking from a position of strength, and you feign indifference, and I think it goes better for you.
That's probably why you got it, because you had that attitude. Yeah. Quite often, when you want things in life so badly, you never get them, and it's the things you don't care about that seems to come your way.
Yeah.
Curious. Now, I was reading in your biography that you were making some statements about the class system, not just England, Scotland, Ireland, but the world, that you were from a very middle-class family, and also you were at sea for 12 years, I read. Is that true?
No, I volunteered at 16 for 12 years in the Navy, but I was out after 3 with ulcers.
Oh.
But, and I don't know where they got the middle-class background, not at all, no. I'm very lower working class background. No, very poor background.
Well, I guess middle, lower, I don't know. But anyway, you didn't come from a theatrical family.
Oh, no, not at all, no.
What did your father do?
He was a long-distance lorry driver, truck driver.
And where were you born and raised?
Edinburgh, in Scotland.
Right.
But there's no history of theatre or film.
So what made you decide you wanted to be an actor? You'd been in the Navy, got ulcers, had to leave.
Well, I'd done so many other things and many jobs, and I was working then for the Evening News in Edinburgh.
As a reporter?
No, in the machine room.
Oh.
But it was still quite a lucrative job in terms of what one had to offer, qualifications. And I went to London in the Mr. Universe contest. I used to do weightlifting, bodybuilding, and I went for Scotland. And I heard about these auditions for South Pacific. So I went along and auditioned, and then...
Never had any acting before that?
No.
Nothing at all?
No. I don't know quite why I went along, but I thought it was kind of funny, and they accepted me, so I went back and resigned and came back and joined South Pacific at Drury Lane in London. And I went on tour. I wasn't serious about being an actor. I just it was kind of interesting, and 3 hours at night dancing around the stage and not having to work. It's hard.
What a way to make a living. Now you live where?
I'm based in Monte Carlo, and I have a house in Spain.
Well, that's a pretty good life, Sean.
I get to Scotland 3 times a year.
And how about the ulcers? Are they all gone?
The moment I got out of the Navy, they left.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient ulcers.
Well, that was obviously temperamentally unsuited to the program.
Well, that fits a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you see James Bond movies? Do you go to see them now?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you think Roger's doing a pretty good job?
Well, I think he does a different job.
Okay. Well, we'll let it go, Sean Connery, thanks very much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Roger, don't go away, man.